I'm going to be discussing the national accounts approach from Chapter 14, Basics of Finance. And one of the biggest things that concepts within this is the savings investment identity within a closed economy. So a big part of that is private savings, which is savings of individuals or corporations within a country. The formula for that would be income equals consumption plus investment. And since it's a closed economy, the only way to define income would be income equals consumption plus savings. So if you put those two formulas together, you can, which I show you on the screen right here, you can automatically take out consumption and income. That leaves us with savings equals investment, which is the savings investment identity. For short, it would be S private equals I. Moving forward with savings investment identity in a closed economy, if you think about it like this, if an economy had no government and did not participate in international trade, what would happen? Well, again, like we had said previously, people would only have two options, to either consume or to save. So they can either save their money for later or spend it now by, buying things. So to think about that, with no trade, international trade, our net exports would equal zero because no imports or exports are coming in or going out. And then the government spending would equal zero because there is no government in this example and so therefore it would be zero. So we don't even need to factor that into necessarily our formula. But that would lead us to the formula of GDP equals consumption plus investment, or GDP equals C plus I. Furthermore, with the national account approach, think if we put the government back in and factor in taxes. That would bring in budget surplus, which is when the government takes in more taxes than it spends, which is a form of saving. A budget deficit is when the government spends more than it takes in taxes, which is quite the opposite of savings. It's more like just saving, or they're just spending more than they have. A big part of national accounts approach and savings investment identity are these forms of savings, which is public, private, and national savings. Public savings is what the government takes in through taxes minus what they spend, and that's portrayed in the formula below this. And then national savings is adding private savings of individuals and the public savings of the government together, again portrayed in the formula below it. But just remember private savings of individuals, but it can also be corporations, and then public savings of the government. And then finally, private savings, which is a big point in this whole concept, is what the government takes in through taxes minus what they spend. So private savings equals GDP minus taxes minus consumption. All of these formulas we'll use again later in a more in-depth and show you how to use these in a work problem. Finally, open and closed economy and capital flow. So an open economy, which we haven't discussed yet, interacts with other countries' economies. And so then two financial transactions can occur. Capital outflow. When money is saved within a country, it is put into or invested into another country. Capital inflow occurs when savings from another country help finance investment within your own country. So again, outflow, you're outsourcing the money. Inflow, you're having the money come in to help your own country. A closed economy, which is kind of what we were focusing on in the beginning, does not interact with other countries' economies. And that's why it showed that net exports is at zero, and in some cases, if you take out the government, that would be put at zero as well. All of these concepts really are a big part of what the national accounts approach is, and should be and will help you understand how to solve for these problems, or understand closed economies especially, and how to figure out their GDP, income, etc.